here before, so I assume you know how this works. But the
Yeah.
little cardinals are just for the beer flights. They'll take them away when they bring the flights up to you. You're gonna be called down to the buffet.
Drink the one that I don't think I'm gonna like first. Kettle corn.
Welcome to the Mowers Dinner. Happy Christmas. We hope you have a great time. What up, folks? Hello, folks.
We're like, you know, you guys are always the most popular. So
That's
we
true.
come in here and make you guys
Thanks for
breakfast.
coming. Yes, indeed. Welcome, welcome.
You folks are looking around a American Red Cross canteen. You're in wartime England in 1944. So the Red Cross, they would set up these canteens as like a club service for American soldiers who were serving overseas. It was something they would run year round, but specifically during Christmas time, they tried to bring an American Christmas to them on the war front. So there are things around the room that are subtly reminding them of home. A picture of the president, the American radio is playing, and then underneath the Christmas tree are Christmas packages. And those would be collected from family back in America, and they would include things that the military couldn't provide for their soldiers or were heavily rationed in England. So a lot of like cigarettes, chocolates, maybe a hand-knitted good, a picture of the family, something maybe more like toothpaste or soap. Just something to help them remember what they're fighting for back at home and get them excited for Christmas. But you folks are welcome to venture through. There's more to see in the next room, more people to talk to, and have a Merry Christmas.
Sure, thank you, you too. Oh yeah, Chesterfields. Hello, how are you?
Everybody, we're having a smelling lesson. And they go right back out, right? We've determined we spell the word favor, F-A-V-O-R. Now we're trying to figure out why. Do you know why you spell that word that way?
No.
Let me tell you. Because of that fella right there, Noah Webster. This is his home. He writes a dictionary starting in 1807 and publishes it 21 years later. That's a long time. 21 years later in 1828 with the express purpose of creating an American lexicon. His whole goal is to create a way to identify us separately from the British, right? Remember, in 1807, the War of the Rebellion, the War of the Revolution had just happened 30 years in the past, right? So we're still trying to figure out what even is an American, right? Nobody has ever done this before. Nobody's ever separated from a country like this before. We don't know how to do it, right? So he says, we write a lot of things. We publish a lot of books. What's a way we can identify ourselves so we can change how we spell things? So he takes the U out of words like favor and behavior and color. He takes the R-E out of words like center and theater. He takes the K out of words like music and public. That's all Noah Webster. Yeah, it's pretty cool, isn't it? Yeah. Just think of all the money he saves you on ink every year. What a guy. So yeah, so this is his home here in New Haven, Connecticut. Have a look around and let us know what you think. Thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome. Yes. You're joining us here for New Year's Day. It's an open house here on New Year's Day in New Haven, Connecticut in the 1830s. 1835 is the year. So Here, you're having a look right now at Noah Webster's Instagram profile. So this is his Instagram profile, his Pinterest board, all those things, right? It says social media, right? Because again, he doesn't have those means to communicate with people. So this is the room he uses to show his personality and to show off to his friends all the cool stuff he has, right? What do you notice first in the room?
Piano.
Yeah, a lot of people notice the piano. It's beautiful, isn't it? Look at it's not just a regular old piano though, right? So it is got all this beautiful inlay in it, right? That is an expensive piece of furniture, right? What else do you notice?
Violin, I guess.
The violin, yeah,
sure.
instruments. He's showing off money. He has all these instruments, right? I noticed the green paint on the wall, right? That is so striking.
Yeah.
The color's called Paris green. Any guesses what makes that color green in the 19th century in my world?
No.
Oxide of arsenic.
Oh, nice. Oh, so yeah, I guess that makes sense.
Exactly,
Arsenic,
right?
yeah.
And so we think it's funny, right? Because it's like it's poison, and we know that it's poison.
Right.
My time period, right? But we still put it on our walls and in our carpet. You can see it right there, right? And we put it in our clothes and our shoes and our books and our gloves and all these places. And it seems kind of silly, right? But I think, speaking frankly with you, I think people in your world sometimes look at people in my world with rather uncharitable eyes, right? So, yeah, because you think I'm an idiot, right? What am I doing, right? But no, it's okay, you can, I don't mind. But I bet if we sat down and talked for a little while, we could figure out a list of probably like 300 things that people in your world do that aren't good or healthy or
sure.
safe. But they know they're not good or healthy or safe, but they still do them, right?
Oh, yeah.
This is exactly the same thing, right? Because it's cool, right? And I want to fit in, and I want to know the neighbors have it, and I want to have a green parlor too, right? This paint's expensive because it's really saturated, right? There's a lot of pigment, actual pigment in this, right? We didn't go to Sherwin-Williams and have it mix it up for us, right? We had to actually put pigment in that paint to make it. So he's showing off his wealth in all these ways. Also, paint is more expensive in my world here in New England in the 1830s than it is and then wallpaper is, for example, right? So I, as an 1830s person, that door walks open and I go, oh, look at all the paint. Look at all that paint. My gosh, what an expense, right? And so it's one of those things. This is an open secret to us here in New England, in America in general, right? Everybody has a best room. Some people call it a drawing room, like Noah Webster called the room. Some people call it their parlor. Some people call it their best room, things like that. And the whole idea is that when you come to my house, I show you this room and you say, oh, it's beautiful. And I say, of course, we live like this all the time, you know? And then I go to your house and I say, oh, it's lovely, what a lovely room. And you say, of course, we live like this all the time, right? Even though I know, and you know that I know, and I know that you know that nobody lives like this, right?
Okay,
It's this
right.
open secret, right?
Right.
It's the Instagram profile. It's this thing where like everybody gets like, their face tape on, make themselves look, suck it in, get
Right.
there or whatever, and then they take the selfie, and then that's exactly what this is.
Yeah.
Exactly. I let your gut out after.
Yeah, right,
This
right.
is exactly what that is.
Okay.
Yeah. Everything in this room tells us a story. As you go through the house, of all the
Well,
houses.
the story that they want someone to know.
Exactly. Well, and I would say
Status.
these rooms tell us a story of the people who live there, right? Just like if I went to your house or your apartment or your condo or whatever, right? I would see things that tell me a story about
Sure.
you, right? And it's fun. So I'm a visiting historian to the museum. I don't work here, right?
Okay.
But I get to come and I get to work here with them a lot, and I love going through the spaces, and I get to be like an archaeologist, right?
Right.
And you can look and see, like for example, if I can steal you away from this.
Sure.
Of course. One of the things I noticed when I look in this room are the shawls. So there's 2 shawls sitting on those tables, right? And I noticed that sewing table. So we know that the Websters complained of drafts in their house, right? So that the curators of the museum have put those shawls here to reference that.
Okay.
Yeah, and also we know she was an avid quilter, and that little sewing table there, which is, if I'm gonna steal anything from this house, it's good. Wait, turn that camera off. No,
Right. Yeah.
like, if that goes missing, it wasn't me. Okay, right now. That is such a cool piece of furniture, right?
Sure,
Have you seen
yeah.
one like that before? It looks
No.
like a lampshade, right?
Right.
So that top drawer pulls out, and that's where you keep your beeswax and your snips and your card of pins and things like that. And then that bottom drawer pulls out, but it actually isn't a drawer. It pulls out that little lampshade looking
Right.
thing called the work bag, right? So that's where
Okay.
she would keep little snips of fabric, little bits of things as she's working on them and tucking them away so people don't see her work. They're just like, oh yes, I'm just sitting here enjoying a nice afternoon. I'm not doing anything, yeah. So it's a beautiful house, beautiful furnishings, reflects a middle-class home of the time period, right? So this is not a fancy home, which is hard to believe.
Yeah,
I know,
right.
'cause to us it looks like, the creme de la creme kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah. So have a look. I'll stop yammering at you, but yeah, so But have a look around and let us know if you have any questions.
Thank
all right?
you.
I appreciate it. Thank
yeah, my
you.
pleasure. Yeah, my gosh, I could talk all night. Yeah.
So this is New Year's Day, 1835. So this is the Webster home, and what families would be doing would have open houses, and other places, other homes would be having open houses, and you just go home to home and enjoy your neighbors and bring in the new year on a happy note.
With a nice feast.
With a nice
Yeah.
feast, you'd have to pace yourself, because these feasts would be at other people's homes too. So if you eat like a full feast at every home, well then you would hibernate. Till spring. So of course this is a special occasion, so this is not happening every day.
That's a lot of food.
Turkeys, roast beef, sweets. They really did focus more on the breads and meats and beef, or yeah, breads, meats and sweets, and not so much on the vegetables at this point.
Those like most people today still.
Fruitcake, and you've got a lot of protein. You've got your legumes and your nuts, so, and that would be a wine punch.
Oh. Are those little, like,
They're
spirits?
just jellies. They're
jellies. Okay.
jellies, gelatins. They're kind of parfaits, which would be a kind of a real special treat. You just kind of pick them up and eat them like a little parfait.
Okay. Very cool. Merry Christmas.
Thank you.
Happy New Year, all.
Happy
You
New-
too.
Oh yeah, Happy New Year.
I hope 1835 treats you well.
Too.
35 is
Looking
gonna be
forward
a
to
pretty good year.
36.
Yeah, 37 is gonna be a rough one, let me tell you.
Almost need the wide angle
Yeah.
lens for in these places.
Here in the village. But if you'll take a look around too, I'm sure you'll notice that there's not a lot of Christmas happening here. And that is because you are seeing the year 1802 when the McGuffeys are Scotch-Irish Presbyterians. And what that means is they're not really celebrating Christmas basically for two main reasons. One, the Bible never explicitly mentions Christmas as a date to be celebrated. Their day of, kind of rest and celebration was the Sabbath. So that was their day of, kind of Christmas in a way. The second main reason being that what they had to reference for Christmas celebrations across America right now kind of just like big crazy parties. Something probably more akin to a New Year's Eve party today. So let your imagination go wild there. That really just leaves Christmas as a regular winter's day. So some typical winter chores might be, chopping firewood, textile projects, preserving any food that might have been left over from the end of the growing season, and then educating your kids was the next biggest thing for the McGuffies. You know that Anna McGuffie actually taught all 8 of her kids how to read and write, and then once William is a little bit older, he actually spends his winters with a local reverend where he continues his education, and then once he's 14, he actually becomes a teacher himself. So other than survival for the McGuffies during the wintertime, education is the next biggest thing on their priority list. But if you're interested, we actually have a few other houses that aren't celebrating Christmas in the village. We have the Websters, the Daggetts, and the Giddings, and I hear the Giddings are making chocolate tonight. So highly recommend you stop by there if you haven't done so yet. But I wish you all a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Thanks, you too. We can go in.
It was the home of John Braden Chapman, Henry Ford's favorite teacher. Chapman and his young wife Susie lived here during the 1870s, when Chapman taught at the Scotch Settlement School and later at Miller School. Most school teachers were women, but men were often hired to teach the winter term in rural areas in the Midwest, when farm work lessened and the older boys could more easily attend school. Male teachers, who were generally paid more than female teachers, were thought better able to handle these older students. John Chapman taught school for several terms and was remembered more for his ability to maintain order than for his teaching skills. Henry Ford loved his teacher, and when Chapman...
They did? Okay.
See them getting ready for a Christmas pageant.
Oh, I see. Yeah, no, we don't have any. There's no real Christmas pageant going on here tonight or any night.
Alright, thank you.
What is a Christmas pageant?
So in the 1870s, Christmas pageants were really big in Michigan communities. So come on in, folks. Sure.
Burst in.
Oh yes. You can take a seat if you'd like to.
Hey, what?
I know you've probably been walking around in the cold for a little bit, so I want you folks to be nice and toasty. Yeah, so welcome back in time to the Scotch Settlement School. The school was built in 1861, but in 1870, if you went to this school, you'd be classmates with Henry Ford. Henry Ford went to this school.
Oh,
It was located in Dearborn, Michigan. The main thing, though, that we're talking about, I'm going to get to the Christmas pageant in a second,
Okay.
but is the Christmas tree. So in the 1870s, you would have not had a Christmas tree inside of your home. That was not the norm. You would only start to see them in public places, like the school, in this time period. In this time period, schools, on the weekends they served as churches, in the evenings they were courthouses, they were multi-purpose buildings, they weren't just schools. If you notice on the tree, there's a lot of these paper ornaments made by the students, and they're decorating for the upcoming Christmas pageant. So students from ages 7 to 16, oh, come on in. Students in those age groups would learn a song, maybe learn a poem, maybe memorize a little play, and perform it for the entire community. It wasn't just for the families of these children, it's for the whole town. As a teacher, I'm really nervous for this. If this Christmas pageant went poorly for a teacher, they could actually get fired. Teachers got fired in the 1870s for putting on subpar Christmas pageants. The students, though, they have it easy. They have it made in the shade. If they do a good job, community members for years are going to tell stories about the time they sung a beautiful song at the Christmas pageant, or they might even get written about in the local newspaper. As a community, though, we're going to support the children. If you notice on the tree, there's a bunch of little tiny paper boxes and mittens. Those are the gifts. So community members would come and bring gifts for the children. And then as a teacher, I'd put them on the tree, and then the children would rifle through the tree to find the toys. In this time period, a lot of Christmas trees had no ornaments whatsoever. There was only presents on the tree. If you folks are curious, I know like some of you came in halfway through my presentation right there, but if you're curious what live music in this time period sounds like, I'd recommend across the way. There's a 2-story building, the Lincoln Courthouse. It's a giant Christmas tree outside. live musician in there. It's also candlelit. It is beautiful and gorgeous and probably my favorite thing to do here. So don't miss out on that. But that is all I have for today. Unless you want to hear my presentation again. But class is officially dismissed. Thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome. So this is the Martha Mary Chapel. This is not one of the older buildings moved here. It was actually built here in the village in 1929. There are elements of the building that are older, like the bricks and the door hardware came from Clara Ford's childhood home. And they were recycled here, and then they named the chapel after both of their mothers. So Martha was Clara's mother and Mary was Henry's mother.
Okay.
Thank you, it is.
So this was built here in the village in 1929. It's made to look like an old Lutheran church. It's not. Oh yeah?
Yeah, my daughter and dad got married here in 2008. Yeah.
So they have the little ribbon.
Nick Cambridge.
Yeah, Nick Cambridge house at Eastern Side. You can know where the matches are that reflect the show. All right. We reflect them later.
Well, we're hoping to go to that one for comprehensive.
So then you have to light the match, hold your candle, your lantern, yep. Coin purses, those are wick cutters there. These are your wicks for your lanterns. The bell, do you know what the bell is?
Not those kinds.
So the bell you hang from the ceiling over your candle, and the smoke of the candle goes into the bell instead of messing up your ceiling. Easier. Down here we have the women's hair curlers. You heat on that.
On a plantation set up around during the Christmas holidays. During this time, slaves would be more often than not actually getting days off during the holiday season. They'd be getting a couple days. Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, and if they were lucky with some plantation owners, they would even extend it all the way to New Year's Day. So during this time, slaves would be partying, they'd be doing communal corn shucking, all kinds of things to kind of form themselves as more of a tight-knit community. During this time, there would also be a lot of slave weddings going on, as this was the main times of the year where they had visitor passes to visit other plantations. There, they would meet their future wives and get married. But also, towards the new year, slaves more often than not would call that as the weeping time. Slaves would often be sold to other plantation owners to balance budgets at this time. And it was just a very hard time because sometimes mothers would also see their children get sold off to other plantation owners. So that was kind of the cruel reality. But they partied like no other days in the year because Christmas time was the only time that they really could be themselves without oversight from the master. So feel free to look around.
Thank you.
Cool. Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Feel free to stay in here as long as you need.
Yeah, definitely. It's warmer in here. Wow, look at that.
a feast, huh?
You got delicacies of the state of Maryland with the shellfish on the table because you're in Maryland.
Is that
Right.
jelly?
I'm not exactly sure what it is. It could be a jelly, it could be some sort of like blood pudding or
Oh,
anything.
okay. Christmas tree.
Hi there.
Hello.
And just like 1905, we are a working post office now.
Oh, wow.
Two provide domestic mail, one provide international. And we are cash only, just so you folks know. Happy
Okay.
holidays, folks. Have a good night.
Oh my god, look at the one with the puppets on it.
All the animal-based ones are usually my favorite. We have a horse one on this side, which reminds me of the era ones that we have. It's named Abby. All set?
Yes, this is mine and his too.
Okay, perfect.
Thank you.
Happy holidays.
That's one right there. Right. What's this?
What that means is we're just putting a brand new trimming on a hat we already own, just like that. Pretty plain and simple. New hat cost about $2 to $3. It's a lot of money back in the 1890s, and especially a lot of money for the folks in Corktown, Detroit. On average, they're making about $5 a week. That's most of your week's salary on a hat. Lord knows you still gotta eat too. So instead of foregoing your grocery budget, instead you just get something simple with a beautiful rose, about 5 cents, or a bow, maybe about 25 cents. Whatever you could afford to refashion your hat. Yeah, pretty cool, right?
Very cool. Thank
Yeah.
you.
So we're almost finished with this
Hot cocoa number 2.